Welcome back to the Screencast with Joe Darnell. In this one, I'm going to look at how to customize the toolbar on a Finder window. And this is a very useful tip if you want to be more productive in the Finder and to make it personal and get around the Finder much more easily having a few customizations. Here I have my Screencasts folder open, which is in my documents in this tab. And at the top you can see I've already rearranged my toolbar to be the way I would like it because, well, frankly, this is all I need in my toolbar and it suits my needs. First of all, I really do like my forward and back buttons, but I also use my keyboard shortcuts, which are Command left bracket and right bracket to get around in Finder folders. But it's handy if I already have my hand on the mouse to have this right here. Next we have the search form, and I love to have the search form right here because it lines up evenly with the list view just beneath it. And this is a lot like other apps like, say, a web browser where you have the search form or the URL field right above the content area on the left hand side. By default, the Finder window puts the search form on the far right side, and I just don't feel like that's very helpful because it's out of sight oftentimes when I go to try and find content. Next we have a very large space which is managed by using a flexible spacer. And then we have my views. Now I don't really ever get around to using the cover flow view because it's a little bit unnecessary and a little bit clunky, and it doesn't especially serve much purpose to click through your covers like this. But I do use these other three all the time, just depending on what kind of content I'm looking at. So for instance, if I go over here to this other tab and I try to find my pictures folder, and I'm looking at all these pictures now, they're all different kinds of wallpapers. I'd like to see which ones I want to use now. I can switch easily over to icons view, and I'll crank up their size so that I can get a better preview of all of the different images. So here would be a great example why I would want to have this in my toolbar so I can easily switch back and forth depending on the contents I want to peruse. Back over here at my Screencast folder, I prefer to have the large list view. Another large spacer follows the view buttons, and then it comes to the end where we have my tags. I don't use this as often as the keyboard shortcuts now, but when I was getting started with tags, I had this up in the Finder bar just to make it most convenient. And over here we also have the share button. Having the share button to the far right is very convenient because I can also align the share button in other applications in the same place. For instance, in the Safari browser toolbar. So if I wanted to have them in the same exact position, I can align them just so, and it just seems to be a bit more intuitive in my routine. Now I'm going to show you how to make your customizations all on your own. Right-click on the toolbar and choose Customize Toolbar. Here you have all the different kinds of buttons you can put up in your toolbar. And here's the default set. So while you're making edits, if you happen to put things in here and rearrange things in a way that you don't like, and you realize, you know what, this really isn't suiting me anymore, it just seems to be more confusing than it was before, you can easily get back to the default set that Apple seems to think is good. Click and drag this up to the top, let go, and there you have it. The macOS standard. And now if I want to get back to what I previously had up here just the way I liked it, this is how it's done. Put the search form there, put a flexible spacer in here, another flexible spacer there, and to get rid of icons, click and drag them off and let them go. And that is how you customize the Finder toolbar to your own liking. Thanks for watching the Screencast with Joe Darnell. If you want to watch more, visit joedarnell.com where you will find more how-tos there. You can follow my blog and more of my social life on Twitter. My handle is @_Joe Darnell. Thanks for watching.